So, in today's podcast, my buddy Mike and I are going to be talking about the tip of the iceberg, which is the landslide that's coming down based on COVID, the extreme isolation that we've all experienced, and how that impacts mental health and substance use. And talking about that and some of the things that we can do to combat that and some of the experiences that we've had ourselves. So, without further ado. All right. No, man, I was writing the Viktor Frankl stuff, right? Viktor Frankl's quoted as saying an abnormal reaction to an abnormal situation is normal behavior, right?
Fair.
And then I got into talking about the plank, right? So, the plank exercise, you sit on your elbows and your toes and you hold it. But, when you start, you can do it for like 10 seconds or something, right? But if I told you to hold it until you can't hold it anymore, there's a difference between that and if I gave you a 20-second countdown and counted down from 20, right? Because you have an end state, you have an end thing in mind, right? And that's kind of what I was starting to think about with COVID. Is a lot of folks, you throw temporary coping mechanisms in play, I'm going to pop a Xanny, I'm going to eat a gummy, I'm going to drink, all of which are fine, except you do it enough times, you've created a habit. You do the habit enough times, it creates a compulsion, and then it becomes an addiction, right? So that's what I was kind of writing about, is the fact that we went from something that was temporary to something that has no end. And that is a huge impact to mental health. And we're going to see the tip of the iceberg now as far as we're going to end up with more mental health issues and substance use issues that are going to be coming out.
Is it going to be more, or are they finally just going to be realized? And that's the real question. That's kind of like, again, the luxury of being an alcoholic or an addict or whatever we want to identify this week as in recovery is that I am very aware of my unhealthiness. So my unhealthiness kind of revolves around compulsions and all my very negative coping mechanisms. And, to kind of expound on what you were talking about is, this, the identity thing going to the job, right? So when I woke up from the perpetual nightmare I was existing in by choice, by the way, because I was a warden of my own prison, but my identity was tied up in my job, and then I woke up from that with a sober agenda, but now realizing how much of the things that I put off I put into my job, as opposed to things I needed to deal with in a healthy way, but it had no idea how to do it, of course, so that's just looking at Mike, and we come up to 100,000 feet, and it's like, how many people exist in that state where my only purpose in life is to go into work, and it's like, I'll just deal with my stuff later. Work is more important, and I work, family stuff. I don't want to deal with that. I'm going to go to work, and it's not just relegated to, guys, it's guys and gals. And now you're locked in the home with things you've been putting off, or the individual's been putting off, or I've been putting off, and now I have to confront them, and I have no idea how to do it. So now that the primary coping mechanism is gone, well, hello there, Wild Turkey. I do remember you helping me out during this family thing where I did not want to talk to the in-laws. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use you right now. Don't worry, it's not gonna be a problem. And then before you know it, like you said, what's our end state? When's it going to end? When's it, like, financial insecurity, the family stuff, the kids? Oh my God, I got to homeschool, da 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 da. Dude, it's a powder keg. It's a powder keg. And I agree wholeheartedly. The tip of the iceberg.